Last time, aboard the Mary Skylark, our coterie of vampires found a parting gift from the King of London, a powerful Nosferatu from the city of London, who had been charging themselves with their elimination in order to curry favor with their masters. The parting favor being a horrid, mutated giant rat with vampiric powers nearly the size of a man. The creature put up a fierce fight, injuring both Benedict and Kristoff before it was put down through group effort along with its two dog-sized vampiric ghouls. Rat ghouls in particular. Um, Things began to settle down as to the most normal they could be on this ship. Un, the standard state of affairs with two mages running about. Father Murdoch continuing to grow a religious frenzy aboard the ship in the midst of the aftermath of two murders. And the witch, what was her name again? I need my giant
Lila.
list of names. Lila Gibbs, fulfilling her end of her bargain with Kemrutai by providing her with potions made out of blood. Father Murdoch has stated his growing suspicion of several members of the coterie. And while re-establishing the status quo, learning what was going on, our party discovered that Mary, the mysterious orphan vampire they saved from London, has begun acting on her own, turning several unwitting mortals into her enthralled servants. Evelyn confronted Claudio about this, and the two had a revelatory conversation. Pardon me while I ban a bot. Okay. I believe that about covers the goings on. Did I miss anything, folks? Anyone in game know if I missed something here?
Oh yeah, finding out how Father Murdoch's been screwing around with the ghosts of this ship.
Right, Father Murdoch also performed an exorcism on the second victim of the giant rat murder. Kemrutai managed to peer far enough into his mind to access a recent memory in which he intuned this holy chant in a language he could not understand and blasted the poor unfortunate soul out of his unlife. That, I believe, is about it. The ship continues to make good course and good time across the Atlantic, making its way to the New World. Last week, our ship had managed to go from the Ivory Coast to transfer over to the Portuguese, beginning its transfer over to the transatlantic waters near what we now call Brazil. It's about halfway through its journey. And with good winds and good luck, we might even be further along than we think. But that is for us to discover tonight. Vampires. I'm not going to move time forward yet, because there's still a bunch of dangling plot threads that you could choose to chase down. Is there anything you would like to do tonight?
I would like to go speak to Claudio, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. She would go knock on Claudio's door and ask if he's in the room.
Claudio would open his door. This is likely a whiles after he had his conversation with Evelyn. Might even be a different day in the week. Let's call it the next night. In fact, so everyone, don't bother spending your point of blood. We'll just keep track of that later for when I move time forward at the end of wherever we're done here. Me.
Okay. Claudio, I have a question, and I think that you will be able to enlighten me about it. Do you have the time?
He opens his door. He's not wearing his full outfit. He's wearing the white shirt he has underneath his red doublet. He's bald, by the way. He doesn't have his hat on. Looks at you, blinks a couple of times. Very well. I was about to change into my night clothes, but you may enter. He opens the door the rest of the way.
Thank you.
He's still wearing his same pair of
She walks
pants.
in.
It's just he's already taken off his doublet and his hat.
So, what do you know about afterlife?
Beginning with
Like-
with questions of a heavy spiritual nature, are we?
Yes.
Is this out of concern for your ghost friends?
Yes. So, I had a conversation with Father Murdoch, and I pierced into his memory and see that he exorcised one of the victim of the vampire rat. It looked painful, so we conversed further, and he mentioned something about the purgatory, and apparently to him purgatory do not exist, and the ghost has been ripped from our plane, and it looked painful, and I have really great concern for the ghosts, and I'm not sure if I am doing the right thing right now. Did I prolong their suffering by attaching them to this world and slowly solve their problem? Is the father doing the right thing? I am not sure.
That is quite a lot. Have a seat. This is going to be quite the conversation, I think. Now, breaking down your question bit by bit, he sits on his own bed, crossing a leg. I suppose you weren't actually asking about my personal beliefs about the hereafter.
No, I want to know what actually is. I want to know the fact. And if anybody can provide it, I think it's you.
A priest, a nun, and all manner of missionaries aboard the ship. You come to a very old pagan asking for about the hereafter. I'm sorry if I laugh at you, it's just... seems like the setup for a funny joke.
Is it?
I
think... Oh.
No, continue.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think our beliefs are actually fairly similar in some way. Like, my people put spirits in very high place. We don't even have God, you see. So we are really, really connected with the spirits. But still, seeing what happened to the ghost in his memory, it made me feel very uneasy. It made me question things.
I don't think... Well, you don't know what I believe, dear. I am a practitioner of Hellenism. The religion of the classical Greeks, as they are called now.
Oh.
I believe that in ancient times, Kronos and Rhea, the god of the sky and the god of the earth, rebelled against the god of the sky and the god of the earth, cut off his balls and threw them into the ocean, and were then overthrown and turned by Zeus and his Olympians. I am personally from Athens, and I believe that, well, I believe a great many things. But toward your particular issues, it is my belief that the underworld is ruled by the ancient god Hades and his dread wife Persephone. There they rule over the many gods of the dead, and shepherd and rule over the countless dead. I believe that a soul glorious enough shall pass on to Elysium, the ultimate reward for a life well spent, and that there are several afterlives within the underworld that one can find themselves in depending on their conduct in the mortal world. The Christians believe in a mix of ideas borrowed and stolen from my own religion and others. Primarily, they believe that heaven is where God is, and therefore it must be the best place in the universe, and that there is also hell, a very bad place that's far away from God, which makes it stinky and on fire, apparently. Full of torturers. Many believe in an in-between place for those who are not particularly bad, but I believe that is wishful thinking. But towards your ghost friends, the restless spirits who are lost in the world, Chiron has not come for them yet. Not ferried them across the river Styx and brought them to their proper afterlife. They are lost or trapped here, to particular reasons I am not sure why. The study of the dead in necromancy was of interest to my master, but it was not a task I was ever set to understand or research. Let me roll Claudio's occult dice here.
Ooh.
That's negated itself. It's 2 successes. From what I understand, ghosts live in the shadow of the mortal world. Literally. The shadow of all that is. A reflection, a dark one. The shadow of this ship, the shadows of London. They move through these things, called the Umbra. It's linked to the powers of the clan of my master. Powerful enough members of the clan may even enter the Umbra themselves for instantaneous travel across the world, or manipulate those shadows as weapons. Regardless, this Umbra is it's substance that allows the soul to continue on, but traps them there. A bit like tar, though easier to move through. Once the soul removes its burdens, it passes on to where only the gods know. As not even the ghosts, not even the dead, vampires, or any other, know exactly what comes after we die. But considering our condition, we have more proof than any mortal beings that the afterlife is direly real, and should be, in your case, avoided. Or at least planned for with the utmost of sincerity. In my case, avoided as well. Well, I am sure by now Well, I can't even say that.
Hmm.
Who knows? He leans back into his bed. Perhaps Hades will judge my particularly long life against me when thinking of my deeds and bar me entrance to Elysium.
Hmm. So, that come to the question about what the priest did. What I saw, he ripped those ghosts out of the Umbra, and then I watched the ghost screaming in pain as it's being seared into non-existent. What was that exactly? I couldn't tell. He said it was supposed to help them move on, but it shouldn't look painful like that.
Priest is a mage, yes?
Yes.
Mages are direly powerful beings. They have the will, power to wield true magic, not our disciplines. The fabric of reality itself yields to their demands. If this man says that he banished this ghost to the next life, I have no reason to think that that is beyond his power.
Huh.
Then again, he may have simply destroyed the thing, cast it deeper into the Umbra,
Hmm.
or maybe he was just going to hell and felt its fires on his way down. We are talking about mysteries that have racked the minds of vampires, mages, anything that could think since they started to realize they could die, my dear. I'm afraid, as old as I am, I don't have those answers.
You did clear up some of the question I have, and um, thank you, Claudio.
You're welcome.
I don't know if the other tell you this, but I heard about all the thing you've done in the ship, and a lot to help us. Like, I'm really thankful of what you did.
My continued survival relies upon your continued survival as a whole. It behooves me
Hmm.
to make sure that you get out of this alive. You, in particular, amongst your group, I do find interesting, though.
Hmm?
You're
How?
more a person than some of the humans I've met in my time.
Oh.
You're so. He looks like he's trying to find the word. Concerned with the opinions and desires and feelings of others around you to the point in which it's detrimental to your being.
Hmm.
It's admirable on
Just
one point, but it's not going to help you in the long term in the other. Find a balance, my dear. Eternity is a long time, and martyrs have a very hard time lasting.
hmm. All right. Thank you again, Claudio. I Oh, I will not bother you anymore.
There is one matter.
Hmm?
He pulls out a glass bottle and hands it to you.
Hmm? She takes the bottle.
Your blood.
Ah, yes, yes. Oh wait, out of character. Did she pay him last time?
You did. Let's just say this is how it happened.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that is. Let me just do that now.
He also pulls out a surgical kit. Uh, just like gestures for you if you want to use it or not. You do fill the bottle with a point of vitae, though. He thanks
Oh,
you.
okay. Have a good night. Did the other two come to you yet?
I've spoken with Evelyn.
Oh,
I have
okay.
not had a conversation
Alright.
with Benedict for some weeks, nor Christoph.
Oh no. I'll let them know. I'll let them know. Rest well. She waves and just back out the door.
He nods his head. And lets
Yeah,
you close the door after behind you.
she's gonna go knock on like Christoph and Benedict. It's that paying time. She goes to another room. Don't forget your prize. Yeah, you have to pay.
My
Huh?
dad.
Oh my god.
If this is the night after Evelyn spoke to Claudia, she would have told them by now to reminded them to give Claudio their blood.
Oh, right. To just.
Oh. My dad.
Does anyone
Yeah,
else pay
just-
Claudio a visit tonight?
Yeah.
Well, it's both.
I'll
I
go
guess.
after the knocking.
Yeah.
I noticed that Christoph is going the same way, so I go with him.
So the two of you knock on his door, you hear some clacking of bottles, and eventually it opens up. Ah, gentlemen, it seems Miss Kamrutai has reminded you of the thing you promised. I assume Evelyn has done the same.
They did. They did indeed. My apologies. I usually don't postpone a death for that long, but last month's been
It is
ages.
understandable.
Yes.
Many creatures respond to the rule of threes. Come in. I will simply endeavor to ask you 3 times next time. He steps inside. There's not much room. There's his bed, a small desk, and a chair with a glass bottle, a few other bits and bobs, strange tools, decanters of liquids, and like bits like again, strange little tools. Not like a burner or anything, like a mortar and pestle, little vials of dust or powders, and this wine bottle that is half full of Kemrutai's blood. So, which of you gentlemen will be rolling up your sleeve first?
I guess I'll do it. Might as well. And he rolls up his sleeves.
Mm-hmm. He hands you a wine bottle, and he hands you a like the I'll describe it a little more. It's a set of surgical tools. They're wrapped in this leather sheet that rolls up into a tube with a couple of straps on it. It's like 2 pieces of leather sewn into each other. One that's had cuts notched into it that been pulled out that has tools acting like a strap on it. Hands it to you. Go ahead and make the cut however you please. There is a funnel. Go ahead and put about a single unit of vitae into that bottle.
Will do. He goes ahead and proceeds to just to the funny, just sideways and just pour the blood into the funnel itself, to the bottle. You know, I've been meaning to ask, because I know ghouls usually, or well, People in your condition usually have to take at least this much per month. But how are you? If it's not too much to ask, but how are you planning to? How are you storing this?
Through
'Cause-
rituals, alchemical means. There are ways to preserve the power of the vitae, and the vitae itself has more staying power than regular mortal blood in the first place.
Hmm.
Curious, are you?
The curiosity has kept me alive for long. You never know when you never know what you're gonna be using next.
There is a saying that is often truncated. He takes the bottle out of its full, hands another bottle to you, Benedict. Curiosity killed the cat, but the satisfaction brought it back. If you wish to see the ritual, I will just stay. It's a rote thing. Only take about a half an hour. And I'll be doing it 3 times tonight before I go to bed. I feel I am dangerously close to returning to a normal diurnal sleep pattern.
Oh well, then. Don't mind if I take on that offer then. Before you succumb to the new sleeping pattern, like.
It's called being tired. Have you been dead so long you forgot what it feels like?
You could say. You could say.
If not for the satisfaction of waking well rested, I'd say it'd be one of the things I would be happy to be rid of. So, gentlemen, I know what's been keeping Kamrutai from visiting. She seems to be a very busy young woman. But did you simply forget our accord, or have you been so heavily preoccupied that you've not been able to visit poor old Claudio?
Can't speak for myself, but a mixture of both. Being completely honest.
I've mostly just forgotten. I was hoping you'd forget too.
He smiles a bit at that, Benedict. You're honest. I appreciate that. Unfortunately for you, and very fortunately for me, organization, punctuality, and a very sharp memory are what have kept me alive for these centuries. I suggest you adopt some of those habits for yourself. They will serve you well, perhaps almost as well as your fists.
I'll keep that in mind.
If you are in need of such things, I could remind you the next time we have a conversation. He smiles, being a bit like feeling himself a little bit on that one.
Well, next time I will make sure to not come empty-handed. If it's been a second, but hey, who knows? We might bring a bottle of wine or something. You seem to be putting a use to them.
I do enjoy wine a fair bit. Hard to get the right kind nowadays, but well, that's another thing I don't want to risk losing by becoming a vampire, my sense of taste.
Really got lucky with that one myself here. Can still taste tough.
Indeed.
Food is really one of those things that it would really, one of those things that still grounds me to what I once was. Doesn't compare to actual feeding, if you know what I mean. But it's still.
I do, actually. He takes the bottle. Benedict, once you finish filling your bottle, he takes it from you, sets it on the table, fastidiously lines the 3 bottles up, turning them so they're all, like, facing the right direction. So if even they had a label on them, they'd be all facing label out, though they've all had any sort of such things removed. It's funny. I understand a bit of the vampire's tastes. Each of you, well, the royal you, not the, well, actually the group you, not the, each vampire. I apologize, English is my 8th language. Each vampire has a unique bouquet about them, to borrow a term from wine. The often delightfully madcap and somewhat hallucinatory flavors and experience of a Malkavian. The deep, rich, languid flavor of a... Oh, damn, clown names, 1 second. La Sombra. The almost cloying richness of a Tremere, not Tremere, a Ventru. Somewhat, how to put this? The complex. I was going to comment upon the flavors of azomite, but I've only ever had it once. Bruja, though. Whoa. I swear away the stuff, it is enough to get you into a fight like a raging Irishman. Or a Macedonian. Or one of those bastards from Sicily.
Kristoff just like lays on the wall for a second.
And never, if you have the choice, sample the bouquet of an Nosferatu. It's very strong, horrible on the way down, and you will look ugly the next day.
Interesting info. Well, I never did. I don't really recall ever mentioning my clan. It seems that well,
You are a
I had a feeling there was
servant
some.
the knight, correct? The crusader? That would make you Bruja.
Yes.
I will save your bottle for a night that I need to be hot-blooded then. It's interesting. Do you gentlemen know what Diablo is?
I am
Not familiar with that.
I am painfully familiar with what that is.
You must be young like Kemrut High, Benedict. Kristoff, you seem more experienced. I won't inquire about how long you've been dead. Seems a rude thing. Diablerie is a frowned upon, if not outright forbidden practice amongst many of your kind. He begins the ritual to do whatever he's doing to the blood. Taking Kemrutai's bottle, putting it on the table, taking a few pinches of things from little wooden bowls and glass ampules, putting them into the mortar and pestle, and grinding them down. The act of consuming a vampire until you drink the dregs of their heart's blood, killing them in the process. They say the act also allows a kindred to consume the soul of their victim. That if they are not careful, the soul has the power to fight back and attempt to seize their Diablerist's body. And even a successful Diablerist will be haunted by their victim till the end of time. Why would one commit such a heinous act, if it's so risky? The power of the blood.
It all circle back to power in the end.
Indeed. Through consuming another, one can learn of everything they've ever known. It is said you can steal their abilities, their talents, their disciplines, even become closer to the original vampire and gain the potency of their blood. I've never partaken of the act myself. Ghouls cannot diablerize. But I also hear it's addicting. That vampire blood tastes so much sweeter, and that the blood of the heart itself is the ultimate delicacy. I would not suggest you practice it. Trust is a rare thing these nights, all nights. And to commit such a heinous act, well, it would surely sour you against the rest of your coterie.
The thought never crossed my mind anyways.
Good. He pours the mixture into Kemrutai's bottle, swirling it for a round for a little bit. Actually, doesn't stop swirling. He grabs it by the glass neck and turns to look at the both of you while just rolling his wrists, the sloshing blood inside of the glass bottle, moving like the waves of the sea around you. The thing is, much of what can be gained through diablerie can be gained through simple trust and cooperation. One can teach skills and talents. One can learn secrets and lore. Hell, through the sharing of the imbibing of the blood of the vitae, a vampire can even share their disciplines. The only thing that cannot be gained is the potency. The distance from the original vampire. As he swirls the bottle, you all see that it is red. The glass itself is clear, slightly tinted green. This red liquid moving around it like a shadow. And as he explains that, you can teach a discipline to another vampire. You can train another vampire in your skills. It's just a matter of greed versus cooperation. The color shifts in the bottle. Like silt settling to the bottom of a river. Or, I guess, the opposite of making Kool-Aid. The color leaches from the blood, and it turns clear, as this red substance floats to the very bottom of the glass. There we are. And he sets it down. Later tonight I will pour out the fluid. And I will drink that at my leisure. This, he taps at the very bottom, is all of the iron. All of the, various humors and what have you left in the blood. I mentioned flavor before. This robs the blood of its flavor, its identifying notes, and simply leaves the sustaining vital fluid. The clear liquid is still vitae. If I drank enough of it, I could still attempt to learn the secrets of that it holds. But most importantly, the hold of the blood bond is removed. So if I was to drink this, I would not fall in love with Kemrutai, or become her obedient little dog. You can see why such a ritual is of vital importance to a free ghoul such as myself, now that I am one.
I can see indeed. Quite handy, if I do say so.
Yes, divesting the blood of its ownership before you drink it. Well, for me, all the reward with none of the risk. Though for you, if you were to share your blood with your compatriots, a sense of vitae-enforced camaraderie may be a good thing. I'm not suggesting you go out and fill a punch bowl and pour in a few bottles of wine or whiskey while you're at it, but such acts can bring a coterie together.
Well, it's probably will still not stop me in opening that bottle, but I'll take this. I'll think of your words here. Definitely.
He nods. I hope I haven't bored you, gentlemen, or taken you away from your duties for too long. Or what have you been doing to entertain yourselves? The sailors keep mentioning fishing.
It's trying different ways to not feed from the locals. It's been rather effective, when fish actually bite while he looks up anything.
Yeah, when they bite.
We're in the middle of the Atlantic. I doubt there's fish. I'm actually not an expert in fish. Well, do so enjoy your hobbies, I suppose. Whatever keeps you sane.
One thing, you did mention it, but if I may ask, what other languages you know?
Latin, Syrian. It's not Hebrew. They invented that after they left. A bit of Egyptian. Not a lot. They were already well and truly done by the time I was born, but I was asked to translate a few scrolls and carvings. Kemetic, they call it. There is German. Not particularly good at German, though. It's bit rough in the mouth. English, as we are currently speaking it. A fair bit of Italian. I was required to at one point learn one of the languages of India. A touch of Barbary. And... what is the language of the Moors? It's their common trade tongue, too. Not Persian, that's a region. I can read a Quran, is what I'm getting at.
Interesting. Well, if you ever do want to dust off that German, let me know. It's been a minute since I used my native tongue.
Perhaps have a conversation with Father Murdoch. Throw him off your scent a little bit. I'm currently pretending to be Italian.
Just really didn't want to go there, but guess I can't continue to ignore that, dear father. It's been informative. Might be paying a visit a little bit more often. You know, not months in between.
He nods. Let's keep it monthly visits at the minimum then, gentlemen.
That's, again, not repeating itself. I usually pay my VEFs on time.
I'll try to remember, yeah.
And I'll remember to remind you. He smiles.
I would exit the room, but
Thank you for your time. He follows out.
Sorry about that, I just muted myself to cough a little bit. Is there anything else you would like to do tonight?
I'd like to go speak to the ghost.
Anybody else, so I can set up a queue here.
Evelyn has to speak to Mary.
No.
She's not excited to.
Having the talk with Mary, okay.
The birds and the bees.
Close your fucking legs.
Oh, Benedict, Christoph, how about you?
for me, probably just checking in with Francois just after the rat incident.
Am I allowed to... Probably a bad idea. Am I allowed to talk to the priest?
Absolutely.
I'll
We're all dead.
I'm I'm going to try to talk to the priest because I wasn't able to attend the last mass. Maybe flaunt my wound a little. Okay.
Okay. Great. So we're gonna go.
Oh, no.
We're gonna start with Kimbertai.
Ooh. Time to roll. Yes, astral projection.
I mean, you're trying to beat a 5 with 7 dice. Go for it. Yeah, you're fine. I suppose the possibility of a botch is there, but You
It is scary. When you have too many dice, it is scary.
you astrally project from your body, going about a foot to the left.
Zoom. I
You
start
find yourself
looking
in the
for
mixed
the
world of
leader.
you find yourself in the mixed world of the ship and the ghost ship. Passing through the
I look for a
walls.
familiar face.
You find the leader of the ghosts not far from here. Oh, what's that? I'm still using this as like a battle map. Floating about in one of the cargo holds of the ship. A
Is
few
that
other
Han?
ghostly figures organizing phantom crates.
Is that the same ghost she been asking help from and stuff?
Yes. Let's give him a
France,
name.
yeah, France, the name.
Yeah, France. France.
Oh, France.
Yes.
Good evening, France.
Miss Kamutai. How can I help you?
I would like to consult you about your condition. I'm not sure if you're aware what happened to our newest member with regarding the priest.
Yes. We warned him to stay away. The fetters of his mortal life proved too tempting. There was danger on here, more than what you warned us of. That
Yes.
priest.
Yes. That's why I came to talk to you. I've been asking around. I saw what he did in his memory, and he confirmed that he can send the spirit to the next life, although it looked really painful. So I need to know what you all think about it. If this is what you want, or do you want to stay longer and let me help you the long way?
It is the goal of most ghosts of wraiths to pass on, to transcend, to come to terms, to finish our business. But that, I could feel the sea tremble, the skinlands revolt.
Oh,
What he did, that was terrifying. I'm not sure that
was.
poor bastard is anywhere no more.
Poor soul. That that it is then. Let's just stay away from the priest.
A quite right course of action, I'd say.
And I actually was hoping if you can also help me with another thing. With Leonard. You remember Leonard, right?
And, remind me,
The
dear.
the German brother of Christoph, the one that I asked for your help in translation.
Yes.
Oh
The
yes,
ghost tied up in his brother's business.
yes. So, I heard Kristoff's side of the story. And since then, I've yet to have a chance to converse with him again. Would you kindly assist me one more time?
Suppose I could translate. Yeah.
Thank you. Gonna go chase after Kristoff now.
So we find Kristoff in the same room as Benedict and Brain. I was just role playing him. Claudio. You're having that same they're having the conversation they were talking about before. You can barely hear it. It's as if you're underwater and and you can hear it in like distant rippled waves, muffled and drowned out. And you see Kristoff's brother's ghost floating there. Honestly, kind of just mentally looking pale.
Leonard,
gaunt.
hello. She waves at him. Hello.
Guten Tag. He says hi.
Okay, so I'm not sure if he understood everything that Kristoff told me last time, but the story was it was an accident because during the duel it was his reflex that ended up piercing the sword through Leonard's heart, and then since then he's been treated really badly and tried to make do with the family, but even the family wasn't really accepting him anymore for being a kinslayer. That's why he ended up the way he is now. Like, I would like to know what Leonard think about this.
The ghosts translate. They begin speaking back and forth in a ghostly German dialect. Before Franz speaks back towards you. He says that's not quite how he remembers it. He swears that his brother ran him through the back. Not that he swung against him and got his heart pierced by a reflex. Between me and you, though, even living tend to have skewed accounting of certain events. And there are more things in death than just us ghosts that could be harming his perception.
I see.
As far as his brother's punishment goes, he saw that bit.
So he saw that he saw Kristoff's remorse then. He saw how much it impacted him when he had to hear the story of his brother again.
He turns and relays what you ask. And, the conversation is a little more heated from Leonard's side this time. Lionel's, I mean. And Franz turns to you and says, Oh, he says that he saw the suffering his brother went through. But from where he's floating, it was more frustration, perhaps a twinge of guilt, and anger at him being punished.
The voice in his
Others.
head said differently, though. Like, he was actually speaking the truth. What if I pierce into his memory? What if I find out that way?
You wish to look
Would
into
you
his memory? Or his memory? He points between the two brothers.
she pointed at the one still alive?
As I'm gonna tell you, lass. Here in the Shadowlands, everything's made of memories. To do so on a ghost might not be the safest thing for either
Yes.
party.
Yes, it won't be now. But I'll try to do something. I don't worry. I'll continue to help you. She look over to Leonard. See, this is not really going anywhere. Well, thank you, Franz. Thank you for your time and for your translation.
Oh, I don't know how much coming to visit takes out of you, lass, but I could try and teach you the basics of Deutsch. That or your
Really?
friend could.
I can keep coming to you. If you don't mind, yes. Like, I wouldn't mind keep visiting. So perhaps you can update me how things are with your crew as well. Would that be all right?
He nods. We're old and old.
She looked vivid. She looked really happy. All right. Thank you. I'll be seeing you again soon. Poof.
And you return to your body, which is like 2 doors down.
Yes.
Such an epic journey across the world of shadows. Now I don't have to do the weird ghostly noises anymore.
Thank you.
I hope that the noise cancellation didn't just eat those, because fuck.
Oh no, everything got through.
Radical. Next up is Evelyn. You wanted to have an awkward conversation with a young woman.
Did I? Did I want to? Oh dear. Alright. I guess I have to find her.
You find her pretty quickly. She is in the private rooms with everyone else. Well, just by herself at this point.
She's in her room?
Yeah, she's in a room.
Okay. Knock.
She opens the door promptly. Oh, Evelyn. Lovely to see you.
Good evening, Mary. May I come in?
Absolutely. She smiles.
She will enter the room. How's it looking in there?
Neat, tidy. She doesn't really have any personal effects, but her bed is made and there's nothing by way of trash or like personal belongings scattered about. Everything is tucked away or in a personal little lockbox.
Evelyn's going to stand there awkwardly for a moment.
So is there anything I can help you with, Mum? Seven? Hello?
Yes, hi. I must speak with you on something.
Okay.
Firstly, I feel I should apologize.
For what?
I've never been in charge of directing the learning of a fledgling vampire as I was with you, and not entirely alone, not without guidance. And to some degree, I feel that perhaps I failed to instruct you promptly, and as happens, you gained some learning from elsewhere, perhaps without necessary warning. And that is my failing.
Was I not supposed to be talking about
I should have-
Claudio?
You must understand, Mary. The people who made me a vampire, they are, even among vampires, very secretive, deceptive. There are many reasons to guide oneself in such an environment, and Claudio is himself someone who has long saturated in such a world, and to some degree, information that he may have given you was toward his own ends, yes. But that is not truly my concern. Of course, I would caution you to truly consider what advice is given, but that is not my true concern. While it is risky, it is dangerous to have all at once created 3 ghouls who will, as time goes on, as your blood, your vitae diminishes within them, they will become more frenzied for more of it. And since they are all attached to you under the pretense of courtship, they may even become violent toward one another. That's all to be considered and to be watched over. But hopefully, as this is your initiative, you have plans. If not, you may still discuss with me any issues that come up, but my true concern is... how do I put this? I know you have little recollection of your life before, but do you believe in God?
Wow, that's a lot. All at once. I mean, ghosts are real. Vampires are real. It's supposed to be stupid to think God's not real. Yeah.
Well, my concern more so whether you believe God is real or not. Do you have faith? Do you believe that you should adhere to God's law?
Well, I've shown up to Father Murdoch's sermons a few times. They're the only such ones I can remember. So don't really know much of God's law. Sorry. I mean, Hmm. That's a lot. That's a lot. Miss.
Well, you need not answer that question yet, but I will phrase this in two ways. Should you believe in God and believe in God's laws and believe that you should follow his commands, or whether you do not and you simply believe you are aboard a ship upon which there are many who do believe in God and do believe in his laws and will violently enforce them if push comes to shove, I would caution you to go about your courtship with these men. I know it is secretive, but secrets have a way of outing themselves. I would advise you to go about it more carefully, more conservatively, in a way that could not bring upon Father Murdoch's disapproval, should he catch wind of it. There's nothing to do aboard a ship but gossip. And I'm sure that someone will notice at some point someone going somewhere with some whom and somehow and some why, and speculate to themselves.
When you mentioned gossip, for every word you said after that, she seems to get more nervous and more nervous. Oh, Mom, I don't remember much about who I used to be or who I was, but I remember gossip. Oh, I'm right fucked, aren't
Yes.
I?
It remains
seems
to be
impossible
seen
considering her vampire
what
condition,
anyone
but she gets
knows.
shit together.
But I am most willing to provide backup for you at this stage, should you wish to heed my advice and take more caution.
Right, well, I was among the Marines. Because, they're the biggest, strappingest men here.
Mm.
It's not gone beyond a moonlit flirt. So I don't think I'm in that much trouble. Unless is God against flirting? A little giggle at a terrible joke. A little wink and a push.
I should hope not, but to be entirely frank, I've never had any such experiences myself, so... But I'm sure that should not fluster anyone too much.
She looks dumbfounded.
Evelyn definitely looks flustered.
You've never had a man?
Evelyn,
She's so
like...
pretty.
Her eyes bulge at her. What part of being a nun did you not understand, my dear?
Well, people aren't born nuns, are they? I mean...
Well, no, but I entered the church at the age of 9.
Right, not many boys at 9.
Well, I should certainly hope not, but... certainly not in my case.
Well, the gossip I remember is that boy trouble typically starts around 13.
Yes, I was still a child.
It's funny.
For as much as...
I don't even remember what my name was, but I do remember suddenly at least half a dozen salacious stories.
Well, Mary, were you a gossip?
What, not much to do, ma'am. Plus, you and a dozen other girls, either mugging at a stable or washing clothes. It's the reason they called us hens. Oh, I'm glad I didn't go on my first plan. Oh, my first plan was to get a sewing circle together. Oh, that gossip would have gotten right out that circle right fast.
Yes, that would have been difficult.
I'll give this a real, right, proper think, and I'm gonna talk to that Father Murdoch plenty. And you, of course, I mean, he's old looking, but, I mean, you're a vampire? You could be God knows how old.
Mary,
might know
what are
more
you
Bible than he
saying?
does.
Yes. Well, be careful with Father Murdoch. He does have magic. He has true faith, which is a type of magic, and Kimbertai seems to believe that he has ways of identifying supernatural creatures, including vampires. So I would
Then,
take caution around him, but do not make yourself too scarce. He has already noticed your absence at Mass. I know it is difficult
attend them once a week.
balance to find. I am trying to find myself.
He's supposed to go to the church more than once a week. I mean, he's holding them every day.
Once a week should be sufficient, yes.
Maybe if
But
I'm just a simple washing girl, right? Caught up in this big mission to the new world. Out of my element. I don't know much about boys, other than some of them are strong and handsome. What if I was to ask Father Murdoch what a proper Christian girl should do in such a situation when she finds herself smitten with three boys? Act all
Perhaps
innocent
phrase
and
it as-
cherubby.
perhaps phrase it as a singular. We need not raise his brows too high. But yes, he may be flattered by your seeking his guidance.
Right, played with ego.
That tends to work with men, yes.
You're very smart.
Yeah. I've had to deal with a lot of arrogant men in the church.
Well, it's a good thing we got an expert. Oh. Sorry, I just got a bit flustered all of a sudden.
No, it's quite all right. I'm glad that you understand my concerns. I was worried you might just think I was being foolish.
You foolish never. Evan, you saved me from eating someone's house cat. I wouldn't know what I was without you. I owe you my death, my life, some of the two. And if it weren't for you, Mr. Claudio, I'd still not know what I am, and I'd still probably be some hopeless ditz 2 or 3 days from being thrown overboard and I don't know, a Bible stuffed in my mouth. How do priests kill vampires? Do they make them eat
I'm
the
not
whole
sure
liver
what.
like eating a bar of soap?
I don't think so, no. Perhaps some type of magic, but we need not fear that. That should it come to it, I will handle him. Her face goes very blank.
I mean, should push like shove come to that. She looks around, almost like a little conspiratorially. I don't have 3 strapping young men with guns.
Well, it has not come to that, but no one should act against him without my say-so. Unless, of course, it's in dire circumstance.
I mean, no offense to anybody else, but you're the smartest one here, Mum. I'll follow your lead.
Thank you, Mary. To be quite honest with you, I was not sure how you felt about me anymore, whether you felt gratitude or something else. I know I've been perhaps overbearing, perhaps I've treated you as a child, but I did not mean any disrespect.
Oh, none taken. I'm lost and confused with the whole being dead thing. I was looking up to you a lot, still do. But I didn't want to be like, I don't know, riding on your coattails for eternity or nothing. Being a trouble, being a burn. After all, I could tell you were hungrier and you were focused on getting me things to eat. So, I didn't want to be a burden the whole trip. Figured it
No,
out
and I
easier when we get to the new
appreciate
world.
you're taking matters into your own hands, and I've discussed with you the concerns around that, but we need not rehash it. She looks kind of pained for a second. Where I've come from, the clan of vampires that I'm from, no one is an ally in a genuine sense. And I suppose I shouldn't have assumed such was possible. But I think for a moment I hoped that perhaps it was. But we are as we are, and I must accept that.
Are you meaning to tell me that I shouldn't trust you or Mr. Claudio? But that would mean that I should trust you, because that means I shouldn't trust the... My head's doing a little bit of flips here, ma'am.
You're not the only one, Mary. I hope that we can trust one another. I hope that we can trust Benedict and Kristoff and Kimbertai, but we must all understand that there's only us between the world, each other, and the beast. You've shown remarkable restraint, considering how neglected of blood you were on the first part of this voyage, but keep in mind, the very nature of us means that we're not always predictable, and one should trust only so much as one can predict. One may not mean another harm, but harm may come regardless.
Well, Miss Kimbertai must have it easy, seeing as she can read the stars.
She has her own torturous concerns. I honestly would not wish to be able to read anyone's mind. She is plagued by paranoia constantly, whether or not it's founded, but sometimes her fear can be somewhat overwrought. I take her perceptions with a measured amount of salt.
Okay. Well, Mum, this is a lot to take in. I'm not trying to shoo you off or bug you out or anything, but I've got a whole lot of thinking to do.
No, I understand. I shall leave you to it.
Especially the bits
And
about
again,
not trusting you, but trusting you, and that your bloodline is extra deceitful, but that you... that part, I'm still trying to parse.
Me too.
Well, I mean...
I'm not telling you that I'm untrustworthy. I'm not telling you that I'm trustworthy. I'm telling you that I'm trying my best. But I am a vampire. And you must take care of yourself, as you've decided that you need to. And I support that. That's important. Anything could happen. I could vanish. Someone could discover me and put me to destruction. Anything could happen. We could become separated. But that you are learning about your powers and your needs and learning to balance the expectations of the human world so much as we are bound by it, and also the world that we honestly reside in.
So trust you, be ready for anything, but trust the idea that you might not be there to trust no more, because everyone ultimately needs only after themselves, except when it's. I. I think I got it.
Well, you can always ask me more questions, but
I might do later.
I think you might have it. As close as one can have it. It is confusing. It is maddening to a degree, and while I do not feel so much fear as Kimber Tai, I don't dismiss her concerns.
I'm starting to understand why she's worried all the time.
Yes. We are in a precarious situation, but so long as we are careful, mindful of our actions, and watchful of humans and our allies, then, well, the journey isn't so much longer. Good weather concerning. Should we run into storms, then we may be more delayed, but so far it's been relatively good sailing.
Frankly, honestly, ma'am, because I'm not sure what to trust or what advice to take, but my plan for right now is to get off this boat alive and to figure out that last speech you gave me about trust and allies with the rest of my eternity, because we don't die at age or nothing.
Yes. Well, that is something that it's probably best to reassess periodically anyway. And when we land, you may disappear into the night. That's entirely your decision. I won't try to stop you, but you're also welcome to stay with me, as probably boring as preaching to the new world it will be to you.
I mean, I hear on the other side of the map there's dragons, so I don't think I'll be leaving very far.
Are there?
I went to talk to the captain once, and he showed me a map, and on one of the maps it said here be dragons.
I see.
Wouldn't lie and put it on paper. That's a waste of paper. Paper's expensive.
Well, there are some very bored rich people in the world.
You're right. I've got so much to think about, Mom. You've got all these thoughts buzzing around your head all the time. Oh. No wonder you look so grumpy when Benedict starts spouting nonsense. There's not much room left up there.
Oh, don't remind me of Benedict. God give me strength. Well, I shall leave you to your consideration.
Mm-hmm. She gives you a nod and then sits on the bed with a furrowed brow, almost in the thinker pose, muttering to herself with her index finger on her lower lip. It's like
Evelyn's just gonna show herself out and gently close the door.
you hear her muttering about, if I'm to trust the trust in the trusters, or to trust in the trust.
One of us always tells the truth, and one of us always lies. Oh, he always tells the truth. No, he always lies. Oh, what a lie.
Yes. You can trust me. I'm from the clan that doesn't trust people. What?
A little puzzle. Yeah, my clan doesn't trust anyone. I thought I could trust you, Uwu. But that was foolish. I shouldn't have thought that. You're a vampire. I'm scared.
Oh my god. Right. Oh boy. Next up, we're going to cover to Benedict. As we had discussed, priests. Benedict.
Priest time.
Let's see here. Let's switch songs real fast.
Switches to combat music.
I mean, depends on what you say. Right. So you find
Don't punch my
yourself.
priest.
You find yourself in the makeshift chapel in one of the passengers' quarters. This time of night, most people have gone up to the galley to eat. So you just find Father Murdoch and a couple of others down here. Literally priests, from the looks of the way they're dressed, or at least those who are of great interest in the scholarly and the theocratic. Father Murdoch is sitting on a crate, reading a book. There is a makeshift altar made of several crates piled together with a fairly nice bit of cloth draped over it with a few candelabras and a Bible squarely placed in its center. And Father Murdoch looks up from his reading as the door opens. Ah. Wasn't expecting to see you here anytime soon. Mr. Benedict, yeah? I have not seen
Yes,
you
that's
for
right.
a while. Not since that incident with the dogs yesterday night. How are
Yes, I'm recovering well. I still have my wounds from the dog attack, but I'm doing fine now.
I hear you'll continue doing your fishing. Does the shoulder bite not impede you on such things?
It impeded me a lot, actually. I wasn't able to catch anything. I was just trying to pass my time with fishing. That did not go well, clearly.
That is odd. I heard the, how you say, the olive branches, that you caught a shark.
Oh, that's not me. Someone else caught that.
They're coming. You said you were still injured?
Yes, that's right. He exposes his chest just a little to show part of his aggravated damage.
That is a terrible wound there, my friend. Whatever did that to you was a nasty beast indeed.
Yes, I'm glad that we were able to take care of it before there were any more victims. I was consulted that it would at least take maybe a week for this to recover.
It is a nasty wound, but it seems to be mostly upon the surface. May I?
Sure.
I'm not a doctor, but I have some experience with such things. He leans in and looks at it. Seems to not have pierced the muscle, or at least, if it did, it's only a bruised, or already beginning to mend. It must hurt quite a lot. Actually, Benedict,
Yes.
as he is examining it, he pokes the wound. I would like you to give me a charisma plus empathy. Because where he poked it on a vampire wouldn't particularly hurt too much, but you're trying to maintain the idea that this hurts like a mother, right?
Yes.
We're only charisma plus empathy here. While he gives the injury a little pokey poke. Yeah, you let out a little bit of a sharp inhale and jerk back a little bit as he pokes it. I'm so very sorry. It seems to be quite tender. Well, I'm not the ship's doctor. But you seem to be in good enough health to be up and about at this point. A few days of bed rest has gotten this well on the mend. Still, I shall pray for your speedy recovery, my friend. After all, you put yourselves on the line, earning such a wound from such a beast.
Thank you, Father. I'll be sure to attend your next mass as much as I can.
Well, luckily listening to an old man rant about the gospel is not a particularly strenuous activity. Tell me though, this beast you slew, I hear murmurs of an English monster, the Black Shark. Big, angry, fairy dog. What was it in your opinion? What did you make of it?
I'm not particularly sure about it. I just know that I've only heard of the rumors as well.
Yet you were baited by it, my friend. And from what I
Oh, sorry, he
understand,
was
you
talking
have-
about that off character.
Oh yeah, he was talking about the giant rat monster.
Oh, okay, sorry.
This is what can you tell me about the thing that bit the crap out of you?
Well, sorry, can I redo that? My bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry if I was a third.
Well, it was large, strong. It definitely was strong enough to trample me. What are you looking for exactly?
In any sort of description, such beasts are often the place of superstition, but if there's to be anything else like that crawling around, I would like to be able to go it myself with information in addition to my face.
Best I could describe is that it has large claws. It was also large enough to be heavier than myself. And it had black fur and terrifying red eyes. That is the best I could describe it with.
Well, you've certainly done us all a certain service by removing it from this world. Whatever it was.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
You have certainly done us ein service for removing it from this world, whatever it was.
Ah,
Tell me,
it was nothing. Yes?
Mr. Benedict, are you much a man of face?
I haven't been able to exactly what's the word? I haven't been able to exactly delve much into religion, given the times that I've been in. But I am interested in it.
Well, we have plenty of time to spend upon any ship. Do you know how to read?
Yes, I am. I do know.
If you're very interested, he goes over to a a footlocker by one of the cots, opens it up, pulls out a well-worn Bible, and hands it to you. I assume that you read German and read the English, yeah? This is the King James translation. It's not entirely accurate in its Protestant make, but it should get the gist across.
Oh, I appreciate this very much, Father.
In addition to passing the time with fishing, reading is also a very good pastime. I avail myself of it often.
Or making the narrative universe
I appreciate that, Father.
accessible to them.
What the
But
fuck?
don't worry, Riot has decided
what?
to solve
What the fuck?
all of those problems.
How the fuck did that get on my music playlist? What the hell? I apologize for that, y'all. Apparently, making Arcane Canon is a bad idea. It got on my music playlist. Weird. Fucking YouTube. Carrying on. So you have your Bible. Just as you read it.
Mm. Thank you, Father. I'll take my time to read it, actually. I'll
Even take it as a
probably
metaphor.
seek the guidance of...
Even taken as a metaphor and stories to help you guide the way you live. This book has a lot of wisdom in it.
I appreciate that, Father. I'll seek some guidance from Sister Patricia as well.
She is a surprisingly well-versed woman. And a very good person, from what I've experienced. It'd be good to avail yourself of her wisdom.
Yeah, I hope that her religiousness and kindness would rub off on me as well.
He nods.
Well, thank you, Father. I'll be heading back now. I just wanted to see you.
It was good to see you again, my friend.
He
Peace
nods
with you.
and leaves as well.
Right. We're now going to cut away to Kristoff. Kristoff, what are you doing again?
Just checking in with Francois. Just
Right. I'll just make Francois a little bigger portrait here, just for convenience sake. You find Francois coming down the steps to the private quarters with a few meals on a tray. No doubt coming from the galley. Good stuff. You're just in time for your dinner, my dinner, the rest of the dinner's going to the private quarters. Honestly, I'm getting a little concerned that I might start getting fat. Eating half of everybody's nightly options.
well, don't, can help you bring some of that down. Been meaning to talk to you for a bit.
Good. See if I can squeeze into my rooms then. about 5 servings here between the two of us. I'm pretty sure we can both have our fill of whatever we like the best.
Well, sure thing. It's been a... Can't remember the last time I tried to town this much food. So this will be interesting to say the least.
You follow him into his room. He sets down about 5 plates worth of nightly rations on his small table, and then pulls his chair out, gestures for you to sit on the bed. Tonight's meal is, well, it's a stew. Tonight made mostly of fish. Actually, it would be pork stew because we're still in the business. Mr. Benoit is still getting rid of several slaughtered pigs. This might be the last of the pork, honestly. Considering you're not slaughtering any more of them. It is a pork stew. There is a few slices of cheese, a very hard cracker slash palm-sized loaf of bread, and a smattering of like various pickled objects, as well as a bottle of wine. Oh, by the way, don't eat the bread, if you could even call it bread. It's got hardtack. Best to crumble it up and mix it into the stew so it gets soft. Even then, it's still as stale as a day old loaf.
Well, it's about that time. It's been a month in the sea, so Kristoff will follow the instructions and just crumble up, just mix up the bread with the stew, and just go for it. Just take the bite.
It's still rather hard. The soup itself is nice. Tastes heavily of pork. It's been seasoned decently. It is a watery broth and not a cream broth. It has some potatoes in it. Actually, it would be rice. No, it would be barley. Barley, pork. No real vegetable. It's got a little bit of garlic and salt as its seasoning, and that's about it. So you can very heavily taste the pork, and at this point, the hardtack is like salt, like slight, like biting into a crouton, but firmer and a little soggy on the outside. No, you should really let them soak in for at least like a good 2-3 minutes. I suggest starting with like the pickles and silver onions and working your way to that.
I shall indeed.
This
Just
is the
was...
first time they had it.
Yeah. Not good to lie. Was kind of curious on how hard it was, as... Hey, you can still bite into it. It's not yet a rock.
No. So apparently I heard from one of the sailing boys that, according to rumor, a ship was attacked by pirates, and they packed one of the cannons full of hardtack because they were out of cannonballs, and it blew a hole in the enemy ship.
Really, now?
Yes, apparently they make for a decent makeshift ammunition. If you are desperate enough. Or they're old enough. He looks at the stew with a bit of displeasure as the thrice baked bread very slowly crumbles and mixes in.
Well, guess desperation calls for the invention,
Well, you're lucky that you
ingenuity, was to say.
That's a good.
Go ahead.
Well, quite indeed. But apparently, your contributions to the ladder has kept us from really being in the shit as far as Russians go. The sailors very much thank you for such things. That and apparently this is better quality meals than they used to. At least this is far out.
It's I'll make sure to pass the sentiment to the others. It was a joint effort, although if I recall, Evelyn was the one that really wanted to ensure that everyone was well fed.
Mm.
Speaking of, what are your thoughts, Sora, about our companions? Now that you got to, well, on the same boat for about a month.
Won't see much of them. If I'm being honest, I spend most of my days awake, sort of hanging out around here, making sure no one goes into your rooms. Claudio does a little bit of the same. We take turns, more or less. I've also grabbed one or two of Benedict's Earth members to do the same thing. To be out to explain to a random passerby, a passenger, a member of the sailors. Oh, no, no, no. Christoph cannot come to his door right now. He is in a, how you say, deathly sleep of the unliving.
Well, you're not wrong on that. Certainly. As far as the passengers is there, guess there's really no room for troublemakers ever since the incident. But had you noticed anything?
Troublesome taps.
Yes.
Rough and tumble fellows. The sort of crazy man who has nothing left to lose in the homeland and wish for a new start. Those who think they're going to be finding a city of gold. Those who think that their personal religious beliefs are superior to everyone around them, holier than thou bastards. Protestants. So no one is actively putting up a fight. A couple of the sailors got into a scrap here or there, but they're not going to be coming to us in the new whatever we'll end up, no? Rowdiness among such rough men is to be expected anyway.
Yeah, you can. Things can only keep quiet for so long. Takes took literally took but then again also the other way around. It quite literally took murder for things to stir it up.
Actually, there's one thing that I should I should mention. Dr. Mellimont. He has been asking after you and Benedict. Well, most of yesterday, after the beast was slain. You may have brushed him off the first night, but he is very concerned about your injuries. The beast that we slew, it's a creature. He is sure it was sick with several horrible diseases, considering the state of necrosis of the head. And he does not trust the Edge Witch that Kamutai has gathered medical opinion of. He holds up both hands, being a midwife over his expert surgical doctor's opinions.
Well, that thing was... He was probably right. That rat was nasty. Thanks for the... Thanks for the notice. I shall definitely pop by, because... he rolls up his sleeve at this point to show that the injury has... That witch was certainly effective. She certainly knew what she was doing.
That is good to see.
So... Hey, sometimes you gotta take a gamble. Thankfully it paid off, because... that liquid hurt like hell drinking.
I mean, you literally decided to drink every witch's brew, my friend. Just because she's a friendly witch does not mean she's not a witch.
Yeah, guess I did walk into that one. Well, let's just try to put an end to this food. I know I probably want to go to sleep soon.
I would not put much worry into Dr. Mellimont anyway. There's rumor abound among several of the sailors that he samples his own opium. At this point, he pokes his spoon into the stew, just sort of jabbing it at one of the chunks of dissolving bread in air quotes as it begins to crumble. Should be soft enough to eat at this point.
Interesting indeed. Well, I've got a few. I think I know what I'm gonna be doing for the next few days.
What? Hitting
Well.
people's heads up?
Close. Just check it in with people, I guess. That's because I've been too self-absorbed in observing the crew's movement that I haven't actually talked to anyone other than the captain.
The crew is under the impression that you are some outy nobleman, yeah?
Well, once upon a time they wouldn't have been wrong.
He shrugs.
Well, yeah, at least to show your doctor that there's nothing to worry about anymore. At least here.
Sounds like you have a plan.
Well, there's several. Just no idea how to put them in motion. Not one on a vote.
Mm. Well, he takes a spoonful of the stew, puts it in his mouth, drinks it, then chews for a bit. How do you make such a sin against the bread? If you need me, you know where to find me. Also, I will be tired. Looking after you all every day.
And it is appreciated.
He nods.
I should make sure to pop by more often. But that said, you do get some. You do try to rest well there, would you?
Sure thing. Better than Gamutai trying to set me up with some strange peasant ghouls.
I. Okay, that's. I'll try to talk to her about that, but I guess just just trying to help somehow, someone. Not sure who in the situation.
He just shrugs.
Well, if you do it then. It just stands up and just leaves the room.
Yep. You leave him to eat several vampires worth of food, or at least mess the food up to the point in which it looks like it had been touched and consumed. And from there, I'm going to call our break, because we've been playing for about 2 hours, and 2 hours is long. As the ship continues to languidly cruise across the sea, a newfound sense of calm and, well, perhaps a refound sense of calm and normalcy, undertouched by the looming dangers of those around you, settles in. And we return to our vampires, their evening in progress. Is there anything anyone would like to do, or shall I move time forward?
Have we delivered a pig this week?
Yeah.
Okay.
We will. You this is the first week that you have already fed for this week. We'll cover all of your feeding habits when I move time forward.
Okie dokie.
There's this time just and the doctor is awake. Just quick visit to like, hey, I'm not dying. No worries.
Mm-hmm. So one of these nights, you early in the evening, after the sun has gone down, early as you can awaken at least, you make your way to Dr. Marymont. His room is clean, if a little low, if the ceiling is a little bit low. It is organized. There is a table in the center with a number of leather straps on it, and a bit of padding. Leather padding, in fact. A number of tools packed away into shelves and drawers that all have, again, locks or leather straps attached to them so they can be locked into place as the ship rocks back and forth on its course. You see Dr. Marymont, a bit tired, looking up from whatever he is working on at this point in time. Probably is just dinner as you enter the room. He wipes his mouth, as I try to remember what kind of accent I gave this man.
Excuse me?
Mr. Von Castile, come in. You've been quite the hard man to get a hold of, despite the fact that you spend all day in a single room. You know that?
I've been told. Just really, really terrible sleeping habits that I had. But I got the message. You wanted to see me?
Yes. I've seen the head of the creature you slew. It looked like it was already rotting by the time you killed it. I have concerns about your continued existence. That thing might have been infested with leprosy, or worse. Your wound, show it to me.
Sure thing. He just rolls out his sleeves to show him that there's no wood anymore.
He looks at you. Annoyance glaring across his face as he narrows his eyes. This is not the time for jokes, Mr. Von Castile. I need to see where you were injured. I don't care if it was on your ass cheek. Show me.
It was right there. It was right there. I chose to... It's just... the moment after the fight. After that thing was subdued, my companion told me that there was someone else that was familiar with like medicine and just herbal solutions. Decided to trust them on that one, and hell if they were correct, because as you saw, that thing was
compress of mugwort and dandelions upon a gaping wound was to seal it whole. You were mauled by the same thing that ripped out two men's throats wholesale. There's blood everywhere. And I'm to believe that he's not even a scar. It's been 3 days.
Is that honestly the weirdest thing that you've seen this whole week?
Yes! Yes, it is!
Well, buddy, I do have some stories for you one of these days.
You'll tell me them when I give you a full examination. You are not leaving my office until I have checked you head to toe.
Do we really have to do this?
So, Christoph, Dr. Marymont wants to give you a thorough medical investigation. You don't want him to do that.
I know.
How are you going to stop him? Just gonna say no and leave? What is your tact here?
Well, let's see. At first glance, is he approaching with any sort of tool?
No, he's sort of putting his foot down and demanding you stay. Sort of relying on his authority as a doctor, you know?
Then I just remind him that he might be the ship doctor, but I'm technically part of the owners too. Like he has no. I understand his concern, but this is unclearly fine. I don't need this.
So you're
This is out of line,
you're going, fuck you, I'm your boss, basically.
basically.
Right, give me a charisma plus leadership.
Just for the lulz, let's add 1 willpower. Thanks, guys.
So you have one
I did.
success because of the willpower and did not, in fact, botch. He glares at you. Mr. Von Castile, you might be owner of you might own the entire ship yourself, but I'm on it. And if you're sick and spread whatever was in that beast around, I, and many people here, won't live to see the port. And even if we do, we might make everyone sick when we arrive. There's an old concept out of Venice called the quarantine. A 14-day lockdown to make sure everyone on a ship is either healthy or dead. I'm not calling for one right now, but I will if I don't examine you.
Tell you what, if you're really so worried about it, I'll make sure that if I do so much of cough, I'll just be the one throwing myself out over the railing. I can assure you I'm that fine right now.
Christoph, is that a lie? I mean, it's not a lie, I suppose, because you know you're not going to cough because you're a vampire immune to disease.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of what that'll be. Because it could be charisma. You could be trying to reassure him, but this seems like you're manipulating him because you're holding back information that's just like you can't be sick and he doesn't know that. I'm thinking charisma plus expression or subterfuge, your call. Manipulation plus expression or charisma and subterfuge, your call between the two.
I'll do subterfuge and I'll add another one because that was close. Another willpower, that is.
Mm-hmm. He gets in close, staring daggers at you. Fine. But we're putting that in writing. I'll go see about Benedict. He's got something, you've got it too. Goes over to his table, pulls out a piece of paper, and begins scribbling something down. And he hands it to you. There's a line he's drawn on the bottom. Sign here. It says that if you are sick, you'll throw yourself over the ship, or I will have 10 Marines do it for you.
Sure thing. And he just signs it.
You may own this ship, but under the charter put into it, I have certain abilities and powers here. You can't just throw your money around. Money doesn't get rid of the imbalances, the humors, or disease.
Again, wouldn't do anything to endanger the ship. Well, it was a really big investment after all. But then again, don't want to be... I seriously don't want to be locked into my room for about 2 weeks without there being a reason. Because again, completely fine.
Out with you. Just sort of looks his hand, like shoos you away.
We made it is. Enjoy your dinner, dear doctor.
Rumbles as he goes back to it. Is there anything else anyone else would like to do?
Nothing else left for me, unless somebody's gonna confront me about the wingman thing.
The wingman thing?
Let's save that for later.
I don't think Evelyn knows about that.
No, she doesn't.
Well then.
Benedict knows. Yeah.
Benedict knows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Benedict was there.
Speaking
Evelyn
of,
is very pointedly in her room.
later that night, Benedict, on your room's door, there comes a knocking.
Oh, you're fucked.
Oh shit.
Mr.
Yes.
Flores.
Who is it? Oh fuck. He opens the door. Yes, that's me.
Your sleeping habits are terrible, by the way. You see Dr. Marymont standing in front of you. Looking at him, he's about like a head shorter than you are. Is he looking up at you with a glare? I would like to inquire
doctor?
about your injury.
What about it?
I am the ship's doctor. The thing that bit you was about as diseased as disease could get. I would like to check upon your health.
He sounds so grumpy. Sure. Where would you like to conduct this?
In my office, follow me.
All right. And then I follow him into his office.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone overhear that?
You follow him.
Oh, could I hear that?
Oh, he was not making this any sort of a quiet affair.
Okay.
Oof. I'll come out of my room. Would I see them, like, just standing there together?
At this point, you see Benedict following Dr. Marymont out of the hallway, like towards the stairs.
Doctor! Doctor! Doctor, excuse me, I need him very quick. She's gonna, like, quickly pull Benedict and start running.
Oh.
Roll me... Roll me, manipulation plus subterfuge, because this is just a lie. You're just trying to pull a fast one here.
I use my willpower!
No.
She uses willpower.
Ooh!
He's gonna try. He's gonna roll his what's it called? It's one of the virtues. He's gonna roll in self-control here, just to see like how well he has gotten himself together to not get flabbergasted by your bullshit. Hold on, ma'am. And he's stomping after you, but you've managed to grab Benedict and start dragging him away, as he is startled enough for a moment. Where are you dragging Benedict?
I don't know, somewhere like on the other way, just to stall him away from the doctor as much as possible.
Benedict, what are you doing?
I'll just follow camera timer.
It's becoming almost a bit of like a Scooby-Doo yakety sax moment here, because Dr. Marymont has not given up. He has decided to follow, and it's like, no, you hear me, young lady. I have to examine this man.
Oh my God.
The health of the entire ship's at stake. And I was like, no, I need him for something, and Benedict is just along for the ride. What you do is he is being obstinately persistent and making quite the huff and stink about it. A few people are opening like the doors from the group cabins and looking down the hallway at the scene.
Can I use my dementation on him?
What dementation ability would you like to use?
I'll just use passion to
In front of a
lower
bunch of
his.
witnesses.
I don't think it will be
vampire
like
stirs his emotions, either
obvious.
heightening them to a fever pitch or blunting them until the target is completely desensitized.
Oh, I may not choose which emotion is affected.
You may choose to amplify or dull emotions already present in the target. So you can't make new emotions,
Yeah.
but the emotions he has, you could turn all the way up or all the way down. So that's his.
Yeah, I want to turn it all the way
entirely
down.
situation. Cool. Roll charisma plus empathy.
All right.
And you have to talk to them. So just tell me what you say.
Plus empathy. I say, sorry, doctor. This is pretty urgent.
So that's... What is the difficulty here? The difficulty is... victim's humanity or path rating. Okay, so that's -1, 0, 1, 2, 3 successes. So for the next night, he's going to be unable to feel frustration or anger.
Oh,
That's really nice, actually. Wow.
Nice.
You know, I normally give dementation a hard time just because, like, some of the higher level powers just drive people into frenzy. But passion real good, actually. He's stopping after you. He's like, look, you were listening. You know, that does seem pretty important, actually, now that you say it. What are they so angry about? Oh, I think they had wine tonight. Turns around, just starts going back upstairs. This is completely about faces.
Gonna lead Benedict roundabout and then go back to the private quarter. Wow, that was close.
So what was it, Kenrite?
Oh, nothing. I just heard the trouble.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Let's just go back and make sure we don't just open the door for anybody.
All right, thank you very much.
That was so scary. Okay, we go to our own room.
So, more time passes. Is there anything else anyone would like to do for the foreseeable short-term future? If you attend mass, you can just attend mass.
Who's attending mass?
Can't really ignore it this time around.
Yeah,
Oh,
attending the mass as well.
I'll go spy on the priest and everybody in the room.
Yeah, Evelyn will be there.
So it sounds like everybody.
Mm.
It's, well, let's say this is Sunday night, towards the end of the week. We'll figure out how you feed after this, and mark a little more time passing. The room is full of this particular mass because it's one that everyone goes to. Let me just switch tracks real fast.
Remember, don't drink the wine.
Drink the wine, got it.
No.
Hey, you guys are talking about the wine.
Yeah, we don't know if he enchanted later too.
I love wine.
No,
I know, right?
As a lot of you have your little whispers in the back of the makeshift chapel, Father Murdoch goes on about his sermon, about finding wolves in sheep's clothing.
I'll read his mind.
Community being betrayed from the inside, about those pretending to be part of the flock and coming to the Lord's light, but are actually only there to commit perdition and to drag you to judgment and to drag you away into false paths. Those who wear the expressions of friends and how to spot them and how to ward against them without turning them away, because salvation is within the reach for anyone, even such unworthy predators. It's just, it might be harder.
What is he thinking? Why is he particularly talk about this? Why?
You gonna read his mind?
Was it his head? Yes.
Roll your dice. Okay, you're rolling telepathy. His willpower is that. So you get surface level thoughts. Most of his surface level thoughts are honestly just related to the mass itself, trying to recall the correct parables. But every now and then he stopped, like his train of thought goes from like making sure he's on the right path for the sermon, making sure he's keeping everything in line so he imparts the right lesson correct, and he's just doing a quick head count, keeping track of everyone who was here. And he seems to take a special note that you, Benedict, and Mary all here. But he also makes note that Marymont, Benoit, Lydia, and Claudio are not here. He doesn't name most of those by name in his head. He says the fake Italian, that handmaiden, the doctor, and the cook, when he reads it off in his head.
Did you mean Lila, not Lydia?
I meant Lila, yes.
Yep, okay.
L names, yay! Eventually, it comes to taking communion. He hands out the body and blood of Christ. Does anyone partake?
Yep, and I'll use a willpower to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
What's the roll again?
There is not this time.
Oh, okay.
You provided him with normal wine. He did not have to magically transform it on his own.
So I don't have to feign that I'm not drinking gravel? eating gravel?
You spent a point of willpower, so you automatically pass that. The consumption
cool.
thing.
Sounds
Also,
good.
it is not the equivalent of vampire acid.
Delicious. Not pain. I love it.
Does anyone else participate in communion?
Not me.
Okay.
Nope.
I guess Kristoff would do too. Just I don't know.
He just puts a stale piece of bread on your tongue and then gives you some wine. That's about it. Mary partakes. Self-control roll for Mary. As she sips the wine, she begins coughing.
Oh,
Oh, Liption, I'm sorry. Did I pause it too fast? Yes. As he pats her on the back. As I roll her charisma plus performance here. Okay. Yeah, he seems to buy it. Yeah.
Is he really, doll? What's in his
Evelyn
mind?
will give Mary a concerned glance, but not approach.
Kemrutai, you peer into his mind, just keeping that same roll going because we're in the same scene. His thoughts are, Ein Scheiße, I thought she could take Moses. I thought she was used to wine. But does this young lady even drink? Who doesn't drink wine? English. Like, it strikes him as odd, but he passes it off as cultural differences. Or that, like, she just doesn't drink, and, like, the bitterness must have caught her off guard or something.
Evelyn's gonna head back to her room.
Yeah, I don't think he keeps you there for any much longer than that. Yeah. He does stop Benedict before he leaves, though.
Oh.
Mr. Flores, it's a pleasant to see you again. Have you had any time to read the book I lent you?
No, Father. I was actually about to consult with Sister Patricia to assist me in reading it
Oh, do you speak
and
another
understanding
language
more
other
of
than
the
English?
verses.
Is it not your native tongue?
It isn't.
Ah, I have ein version in Spanish.
Ah, if you will, I'd appreciate it.
It's better served for you anyway. I can't speak a word of it. Most of the New World colonies had it been conquered by the Spaniards. I assume that we might have some Spanish on hands when we arrive, depending on where we go. He digs around his box and hands you a copy of the Bible in Spanish. Honestly,
Thank
it's
you.
better than
I appreciate
proper
that.
Christian country, unlike this King George Jibble.
Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about, Father?
Well, if you're going to be consulting with the Distronosis, I should not get in the way. I was going to tell you to just, begin at the start and end at the end. And take some of the Old Testament with a grain of salt. A lot of that is metaphor.
Thank you very much, Father. Then, if you'll excuse me,
He smiles and doesn't stop.
then Benedict, he'd like to go to Evelyn's room for assistance with the Bible.
Oh boy.
Bible studies? Oh, boy.
Bible studies!
Sunday school? I actually went to a Catholic school for a decent portion of my childhood, which meant luckily I didn't have to go to Sunday school. Because every day was Sunday school.
Lucky.
Because every day we had Mass.
Oh my god, every day.
It was at least, I think it was at least twice a week. It varied. Especially around holidays. But yeah, Evelyn, Benedict follows you to your room.
Okay.
Knock, 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 knock.
What would be like a composure check?
Oh my god.
Composure.
Yeah.
That would be probably self-control.
So just straight self-control?
Yeah. You'd also do, let's call it willpower. You roll against your max.
Okay. It's my willpower again.
It'll be the circles and not the squares. You're pretty put together.
Okay. Evelyn opens the door and pretty blank face looks at Benedict. Yes?
Oh, hey, Evelyn. The priest offered me to read the Bible. I was wondering if I could get your assistance with it, or just get a quick summary. You have any time for that?
Quick summary.
Yeah.
I don't know that I can provide you a quick summary, but you genuinely wish to study the Bible?
Yeah, it's some part of my heritage, so... Is a heritage right word? Anyway, so I'm interested in it at the very least.
All right, I suppose I can help you with that. Gonna glance around the hallway. Is there anyone around?
There's a few people going back to their room, but they don't seem to be paying much heed to you and Benedict talking. Especially with Benedict just holding a Bible, talking to a nun. That seems
Okay,
wholesome
yeah.
and normal and Christian, so it's largely ignored.
Okay, she'll invite him in.
Alright, he follows her in.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jesus.
You're truly interested in this.
Yes, why do you seem so skeptical about it?
You've not shown any interest previously.
Okay, we're back.
Let's cross over.
Yay.
Back.
Benedict coming to Jesus is too powerful.
Oh, I just hope that didn't split the VOD. Combining those is gonna be a pain.
Forgot what I was saying.
Benedict admitted that he's motivated by being bored, and this seems like a good pastime.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any particular question you have in mind? Anything you're particularly curious about? You mentioned it's part of your heritage. Do you have any knowledge of God?
Only the basics, the one that's always been mentioned. How Jesus died for our sins and all that.
So you know of original sin?
Yes, of course, that That's part of it, yeah.
Very well. She's gonna basically go over what changed with the new covenant with Jesus. She's not interested in any of the Old Testament stuff because Jesus invalidated all of that. And yeah, she will describe in detail.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you very much, Evelyn. This also helped me with my cover with the priest. Seems to be very interested in me. Very invested, I mean, in me reading the Bible. So I guess I'll just tell
Well,
him what you told me.
he is a priest. Of course, he is concerned with saving your soul.
All right, well, I guess that's everything. Thank you, Evelyn.
How is your wound?
My wound. I I should heal it soon. I think that's enough for my cover of being injured, especially since the doctor has been poking around recently on it.
What has he said?
Not much. He said that he wanted to check it. Is there a problem with him checking it?
Well, how confident are you that you can appear human?
Okay, yeah, I see the problem now, yeah. My innards are definitely not human. It is mostly blood.
Well, I should hope he's not going to cut you open, but yes, you may need to be careful to ensure that you appear vital, that you breathe, that you not heal too quickly. Christoph was injured too, was he not? I feel I've lost track of what's happening. I've been distracted.
Are you doing all right?
I'm fine, I'm fine.
All right. Are you sure? He takes a sit at her floor.
He, looks up. I don't know what it was like with the vampires that created you, but this is a very different atmosphere.
How so?
Well, no one has backstabbed anyone yet, as far as I can tell. There's been some degree of meddling, but far less than I'm used to.
Well, I guess you could trust in us right now the most, since we're all in the same situation. I can't guarantee it for everyone by the end of this voyage, but I can guarantee that your trust is safe with me and with Cam. I've been with her long enough to know that she's not that kind of person.
With respect, Benedict, you're kinda not known for their steadfastness or reliability.
Damn.
Hey,
Okay.
Benedict. In this dim light, in this intimate setting, sharing your vulnerabilities, give me a self-control roll.
Oh no! I didn't think you'd do it to other players too.
If I'm crossing a boundary here, let me know.
No, it's hilarious.
Great, because that's a botch. Benedict. It's strange. You know this is Evelyn. You're just having a conversation with her after all. You're still talking to her. But... no, it can't be. Has Evelyn always been your beloved? Has she just been putting on a disguise this whole time? Of course. She doesn't want anyone else to know. It's a secret between the two of you. You know now. You understand.
Okay, Benedict gets up from where he sits, and then he approaches Evelyn closely, like very close, face to face.
Evelyn's gonna lean back slightly. Benedict?
Evelyn, I didn't know. I'm sorry. He reaches out for an embrace. It's like the hug embrace.
Okay. Self-control's willpower then?
You go for it. So the 10 can't be
high
negated, and that's
self-control.
one success.
Okay, she lifts like her hands like she's about to like gouge him, but stops herself.
Oh my god. She was about to kill me.
She was about to seriously wound you, yes.
I didn't know it was you this whole time. Why haven't you told me anything?
You didn't know I was home.
I'm sorry. I know why you said that now. Why you said I was unreliable. Because I didn't realize until now. Then he goes for the embrace, the hug embrace.
Okay, how do you dodge again?
If you would like to try just like not let him hug you, you can just do that.
I think it was Dex and Athletics or something.
Yeah.
No, I want to roll it 'cause it's funny. Okay, if it's Dex and Athletics then. Oh.
Oh.
That's a fail.
Okay, you grab her. I guess her arms are like pinned up, so her hands are like almost clawing your face.
It all makes sense now. How you said it will see each other, even though I'm moving somewhere far away.
Unhand me.
You're right, I'm sorry. It's too soon. I understand.
Get out.
Get out.
Leave.
I don't understand. Why do you want me to leave? I finally realize it's you.
Okay, the room is gonna start growing darker.
Do you have anything to say?
1 second.
Oh no! She's going to kill me!
I am assuming you're looking
Oh,
up
my
your
message is too
penetration
long.
abilities right now.
Yeah, this is too long, so I'm gonna put it in 2 parts, but
Is
the
it shadow
skill
play?
is this one. It's in your DMs.
Okay, one second here. Huh. Uh, okay.
And I'm gonna use a willpower as well.
Oh my god.
That's a lot of botch.
So that's
Yeah.
2 successes.
Oh.
no.
So honestly, the music transition is well timed. Thank you, YouTube. The room. So because of those 2 successes, you can double the diameter of this. Do you keep it confined to this room?
Yes.
So the room becomes clouded in this inky, shadowy darkness. This tar-like morass of gaseous, inky black that is difficult even to move through. You feel... Well, first of all, you go blind. You can't see a thing, Benedict. Second, you feel exhausted just trying to move through it.
My love? Why can't I? Are you still there?
Okay, if he doesn't do anything else, then I'm gonna do something else.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, let me just check real quick. Oh. I have to be able to meet his eyes, though.
Banish the creature.
Can I manipulate the darkness so I can meet his gaze?
In the description, you don't have that much fine control over it.
Okay. Hmm. Does he... no, that's mortals and animals. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try and sneak around him and leave.
Okay, give me a... Let's see here. A Dex plus Stealth. It's gonna be easier because he can't see anything right now. But a little harder
Okay.
because of the size of the room. Benedict, would you like to try and perceive Evelyn in this darkness?
Yes, please. By default, he should.
Mhm. Right, give me what's perception then, my bad. No, what's plus alertness? It's gonna be harder because you can't see.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Wits plus alertness.
Okay.
It's gonna be harder because you currently can't see. That's a botch.
Christ.
Benedict, you found her. Reaching out into the darkness, you stumble about for a minute, and then you find a solid. What you think is her shoulder? It's solid, so it's obviously a person. It's cold to the touch because she's a vampire, but there's a bit of fabric there and a bit of give. So you think you've grabbed her shoulder, or like that little bit of poof up cloth that is her shoulder on her dress. Evelyn, you managed to slip around him, and he's currently grabbing your pillow.
Yeah, I just quietly leave.
I'm gonna call the scene here. Benedict, you are alone for like the next 10-15 minutes before you come. Your dementation leaves you and you come to your senses.
I lock the door after me, by the way.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Let's just call it the night then. You'll come to your senses the next time you wake. Evelyn, you just go to one of the vacant rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Benedict, when you awaken, you don't remember that Eleanor was always actually your beloved, but you remember that your beloved was here and interrupted your conversation with Eleanor, and that Eleanor not Eleanor, what the fuck am I saying?
Evelyn.
Evelyn was quite embarrassed and used her disciplines to escape and give you to privacy.
Okay.
Right. That out of the way. That bit of awkwardness. It is a new week. It is the 6th week of your journey across the Atlantic. How are you all keeping yourselves fed?
Hey, gonna go to Kristoff. Kristoff, let's deliver the pig.
Well, right, right. All right.
I am so hungry.
You wouldn't even believe how freaking hungry I am to
Me too.
Right.
Yes.
Give me your
Go for it,
choice
Zach.
of animal handling plus dex or dex and subterfuge. Dex and stealth, I mean. To get the pig to the room to be ritualized.
Use the same method, like the guiding with rope and the leftover food, and Kim's gonna watch the way for him.
Already?
Stealth
Let's
can
see.
help.
Yay!
And another extra die for a proven technique.
Holy shit, let's see, that's...
That's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4 successes. So you managed to move the pig without anyone noticing, and you managed to dispose of the body after the blood is extracted and transmutated. That is 15 points of blood.
Ooh. You're really hungry, right? Here, she should give him half. Probably 6 again.
Sure, thanks.
Is that enough? Are you full yet? Do you need more?
It is enough, thank you, yeah. It's definitely enough, yeah.
To read his mind. Oh, yeah.
Kristoff, what's your willpower?
I'm assuming he reset it?
Yeah.
To... So 4?
That is one
no.
success, so you get surface level thoughts, Cambertai.
You fool.
I seriously don't want to... Of course, this is the... I seriously don't want to read any of this any more than I have to. Even if I'm not full.
You don't like it?
No, it's come on, you're giving me way too much. It's just we should start splitting it evenly and stuff with the group, no?
Alright. Alright. Okay. So split evenly instead. That would be. It's not even. She should take more. She'll take more because she really need the blood. She'll take 6 instead, and other people will take 3 each. I would need more this week. I hope it's okay. I'm really hungry.
Evelyn would
Sure
Not-
thing.
not accept.
And Christoph in his mind, thanks God.
I really would not accept. Okay.
Yeah.
What
Just say
about
you,
Benedict?
you use it.
Oh boy, magic
Okay,
blood.
thank you. Alright, I'm almost full. That's so much better.
How much would I get from that?
You get 3, unless Kristoff doesn't want his portion, and you get 6.
I would still take the 3 because
Okay, you get 3.
Okay.
That was so nice.
Wait, didn't Evelyn not take her portion? Or
Evelyn refused hers, yeah. She
So
said
that-
Kim should have it.
Oh, thank you, Emily. Kim will go down like it's like the best meal of her life. She's not hungry.
Guilt
So
free.
about my herd, I think this week was going to be when the 5 reset.
yeah, currently her herd is
So it's only 2
almost
people that have been
entirely
fed on?
topped up. There's just the guys you fed on last week.
Okay, so there's just 2 that have been
Mhm.
fed on. So I'll note that 2 fed on. And I'm down to 7, so I'll need 8. I guess I'll feed on 4.
You're feeding on 4, and you're taking 2 points of blood each. Yeah.
I mean, 3 is the limit before it's dangerous, right?
Yes.
So I guess I could just feed on 3 then. Take
Okay.
3 from 2 of them and 2 from one of them.
Okay. First person is not sick. Second person is not sick. Last person is not sick. Okay. So that's Camera Ty and Evelyn. Benedict, how are you feeling yourself?
That means my herd has also replenished, right?
Yes.
I'd like to feed on 3 for 3.
Okay. Not sick. Not sick. Not sick. So they're all okay.
Yes.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Okay. So that's 33. That would be more people than are in the group. It's your entire herd fed on. Okay. That just leaves Kristoff.
Can I go fish for Kristoff to pay for like helping her with the pig?
I would actually go pay a visit to the funny room on the right side there while they're sleeping, because I do really need to top off.
Mm-hmm.
So I just sneak into that room. By now they're probably healed, though even the ones that I drank from last time.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to sneak in and you're just going to feed on them while they're sleeping. Okay, roll me a Dex plus stealth. As you creep in at the dead of night. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. You could feed up on. You could feed on up to 4 people.
Up to 4, let's see. That's quite perfect, actually. Just 4. I feed 3 from 4.
Okay. They're good. They're good. They're good. There's a sick person.
Of course, that last one couldn't walk it off.
And now it's time to roll for our friend Mary.
Oh,
So she loses 7, goes down to that much. She rolled that many successes on her hunt. So she gets to feed on that many. She's gonna feed enough to not hurt anyone, because she doesn't want to hurt anyone. That's not sick and not sick. Okay. Kristoff, as you make your way back from the front passengers area, you see Mary leaving the opposite room. A brief conversation and finding out that one of those rooms is shared by Benedict's herd. The front of the ship is getting pretty well fed on. Collaborating with Mary's head count, you judge that there's about let's see here. That's entirely tapped. That's 6. There's about maybe 17 people in that part of the ship that haven't been fed on yet this month, which is less than half.
Can't recall. Does Christoph know about the... I don't think he knows about the ghouls, no?
No, he doesn't.
Oh boy. Let's see. 17, so probably time to start thinking rest for this week, I guess.
Cameron, you wanted to go fishing with your downtime.
yes! Yes!
So you all do still have time to undergo other projects. Learning another language would take up a large portion of this downtime. Fishing would take up a large portion of the downtime. Trying to expand
so
a
only
herd
one?
would take a portion of the downtime. Training or learning another discipline. All that sort of stuff. If you think of it, let me know, and I will tell you if that takes up a significant portion of time.
Can I
Evelyn
still...
will-
Oh, go ahead.
Evelyn will be mostly fixated on religious studies with her herd and, if possible, studying another discipline, but mostly just very, very fixated on religious studies right now and teaching.
So, the disciplines available to Evelyn right now are thaumaturgy, and if you manage to have a conversation with them about it, Mary could teach you fortitude.
So is this something that would also require experience, or is this an addition?
This would require the expenditure of experience, but it opens that up for you.
Oh, okay. Fortitude. Just looking up what that is.
Vampiric toughness. It gives you points of soak. when you take damage and lets you soak aggravated damage. It also lets you become tougher than humanly possible.
That sounds pretty defensive. Maybe a nice thing to have after being grabbed. Adds to his stamina for the purpose of soaking normal damage. Okay, so one level would give you +1 soak.
Mm-hmm. And that would,
Okay, yeah.
unlike normal stamina, that goes against supernatural forces as well.
Cool. Yeah, she'll take her up on that offer.
Mm-hmm. So you spend some time with Mary, and Mary attempts to communicate. Well, basically the one discipline she's really gotten a handle on. This conversation just generally drifted towards, the abilities of a vampire. Perhaps you were instructing her on what her clan should be able to do, and she mentioned, "Oh yeah, I'm really good at the fortitude thing," and one thing led to another, and you began to try to learn it. Kim, you want to do a thing?
Can I still fish and go learn German?
You can try one of the other.
I only have to pick one. Oh, okay. I'll go learn German then. And also, go and join, invite Leonard to join too, so he doesn't get too bored, being all alone and stuff. Yeah. Ghost party!
Go ahead and roll me a intelligence plus academics. See how good you are at picking up on the language.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 2 successes. I'm gonna put this at that many clock. Once that clock is full up, you will sprechen Sie Deutsch.
Yay!
Well, let's call that a 6 segment. You will
So
conversationally
it's 2 out of
Deutsch,
6?
Yeah. So that's 2 out of 6 so far. Radio. Anything else? Benedict, Christoph.
I'd like to heal off my injuries now.
You can. That doesn't take a requirement of an activity. You just spend the blood.
Okay. That's 5 blood, right?
It's 5 blood to get rid of 1 aggravated.
Okay. That's
The
gone.
other
I might also
should have healed up by their own by now.
Okay. Am I also able to try to increase my herd?
Yes, you can try to entice
The other
people
passengers?
into your herd.
Nice. I'll put up a nice little boxing exhibition to entice people to join my fine club.
Okay. Give me your choice of strength or dexterity plus performance.
Okay. Strength. And perform. Okay.
Ooh. That's 3 successes. Let me just double check the herd background real fast. We currently have 3 vessels. Yeah, you managed to entice a few of the sailors and the adventurers types to join your herd. Your displays of strength and fighting technique, as well as your reputation from having killed that beast, getting a few people interested in being your boxing students.
Nice.
Plus, It's something to do, and it's damn good entertainment.
Nice. How many do I get?
Your herd goes up to a 2-dot herd, which is 10 mortal vessels. Oh, 7 mortal
okay.
vessels. 7.
Okay.
They don't necessarily know that you're a vampire, but you have means of easily separating them out from the body of the crew and doing your thing. To the point in which you don't even need to roll.
Okay.
Although, opening up the ability to learn fortitude takes up my whole week.
Pretty much, yep. Learning a vampiric discipline is a very involved thing. In fact, to a certain extent, you and Mary even exchange small amounts of your own blood. Not enough to inflict a blood bond on each other, but bit by bit,
Okay.
teasing out the flavors and the experiences of the blood that particularly inform and empower you to do such things. Christoph, your downtime. What are you doing with it?
It's pro. 1 second. Actually, coin toss. 2 things I wanted to try. Alright, just chilling with Claudio. It is because he was just to the ritual and the fact that he casually name dropped, their clan, but mainly just seeing if he can somehow pick up on how he's doing things there.
So, give me a wits plus empathy here. Let me double check the rules on learning rituals.
Oh boy. Ooh.
Oh, what you got?
Two 8s and a 10.
2 8s and a 10. Okay. So, just having conversations with Claudio, he reveals a story of the one time he actually tasted Assamite blood. Apparently his master had run afoul of a being he and the other ancients called the Interloper. A Middle Eastern vampire who thought that the vampiric lords of Europe had stepped out of station and were trying to harry their abilities to take control of territory. A constant thorn in their side, he describes them as, who had agents seemingly everywhere, sometimes in the midst of the lesser lords, even their own organizations. He tells the story of how it was captured, this Assamite agent, how they tried to have it infiltrate his master's circle, but there was one thing that failed it: obtenebration. It, unlike every other vampire in their master's service, could not manipulate the shadows and could not muster any discipline that would fake it. That was in fact how their master made sure no such servants infiltrated his service and managed to worm their way into his organization. All of his servants had to know that feat At least vampiric ones. He describes. And he describes how at one point he was able to drink of this vampire's blood. It doesn't exactly describe the exact circumstances, but he used to feed it, maintain his being at one point. And he describes the caustic undertone of it, the fieriness of it. And that's about as far into detail as he goes. But through his story, through your insight, you can tell that he has not figured out that you are a servant of the interloper.
At least dodge the bullet in the meantime, I guess.
In addition, you managed to learn the ritual. Looking at the rules for rituals, it doesn't seem like you have to spend XP for them. You just have to find someone who can teach them to you. So, it's a level 1 ritual. Casting it requires a successful intelligence plus occult roll with a difficulty of 4. And it allows you to preserve kindred blood for up to a year.
Nice.
It does not have the same effects on mortal blood. He hasn't tried it on mortal blood. You might be able to attempt it, though. That would require dice!
Add that to the list of things that could be tried. Well, not on the boat.
Mm-hmm. And with that, it is week 6 of your voyage. You have entered... Well, at this point, you're off the coast of the New World. Brazil is not that far to the west, as your ship rather quickly is picked up by the Gulf Stream and is pushed swiftly into the Caribbean. Your destination should be no more than 2 weeks away. Maybe 3 if inclement weather strikes. And that is where I'm calling the session.